Welcome to the Weirdlings Rise. This is an exploration of the mechanics behind human survival, how we actually navigate high-stress environments, and the biological tools we use to stay human. Most of us are conditioned to believe that survival requires armor. We're taught that to handle a crisis, we must build cynical defenses, internalize our stress, and harden our hearts against external impact. But rigid structures are brittle. They break under prolonged pressure. Genuine endurance requires remaining soft, fluid, and receptive enough to absorb shocks without shattering. This concept of softness is the basis of high emotional intelligence. It is the active choice to remain vulnerable and growth-oriented, even when your environment is pushing you to shut down. However, your biology often works against this choice. When your brain detects a threat or a reminder of trauma, it triggers a fight-or-flight response that bypasses your rational mind and physically tightens your body. Because this reaction is biological, you cannot simply think your way out of it. Logic is useless when your nervous system has already decided that you are in a state of survival. To maintain the softness required for emotional intelligence, you must use a physical intervention. You have to manually override that biological panic to reclaim your capacity for empathy and reason. One of the most effective tools for this manual override is box breathing, a clinically proven method for resetting the autonomic nervous system. To begin, find a comfortable seated position. This isn't just about posture, it's about making a conscious decision to drop your physical cynicism and commit to the reset. This symmetrical structure is the key. Following this rhythm signals to your brain that the threat has passed, interrupting the panic cycle. Research shows this produces quantitative results, lowering your heart rate and regulating the cortisol levels flooding your system. This practice provides a tangible bridge back to active consciousness, moving you out of a reactive survival state so you can choose how to respond to your environment. Step 1. The controlled inhale. Draw air steadily through your nose for a count of 4. Pull the air deep into your diaphragm, letting your belly expand. Step 2. The sustained hold. Keep that breath in your lungs for 4 counts, without adding physical tension. This pause is a moment of total stillness. It allows oxygen to enter the bloodstream more efficiently, which helps stabilize your heart's physical rhythm. Step 3 is the controlled exhale. Release the air slowly and completely through your mouth for a count of 4. Actively drop your shoulders and unclench your jaw. You manually trigger your body's relaxation response by mimicking how it behaves when safe. Step 4 is the empty rest. Hold your lungs completely empty for a final count of 4. This final stage is often the most difficult because it requires you to remain calm in the absence of breath, training your brain to stay grounded even when you feel empty or unsupported. These 4 equal steps create a rhythmic anchor. By focusing on the rigid symmetry of the breath, you systematically dismantle the chaos of your body's stress response. Now that you understand the mechanics, let's put them into practice with a real-time double cycle. Inhale, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Exhale, 2, 3, 4. Empty, 2, 3, 4. Take a moment to assess your state. You should feel a measurable drop in your heart rate and a shift away from the urgency of panic. This raw, somatic experience is something technology cannot replicate. AI can give you definitions of resilience, but it cannot simulate the physical work of reclaiming your own nervous system. Choosing to soften your body in a world that demands you stay hardened is an act of defiance. It is the mechanism that allows you to maintain your self-respect and your autonomy in the face of systemic pressure. Use this tool to protect your core humanity. By mastering your physical breath, you ensure that you remain fluid enough to survive without becoming too rigid to live.